Guys, it's me. I'm back.
What's up, party people?
We're like, Max, come on. He's like, no, they're having All right, this show is taking a turn for the. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of MONSTERBASS Live. If this is your first time tuning in, I don't know what you've been doing on Thursdays at 4 o'clock because you should have been sitting here with me all along. By the way, my name is Rick. I'm gonna be the guy that you hang out with for the next hour. So make sure you do me a favor because you're gonna love this anyway. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, follow us, keep up to date with all things having to do with MONSTERBASS. We got a great show for you. We're going to talk about my co-host Max, as we always do. We got some great guests, and we're going to do something a little bit different for the super chat this week because last week was my first time learning about the super chat, and it kind of got a little nutty. You guys were out of control. Thank you. And as I mentioned last week, all the money that you guys give me via super chat, I'm going to throw a party at the end of the year. I don't know where. We're going to pick a place and everybody's invited. I'm pretty sure burning wood will be a part of it. Obviously, there'll be some food and some adult beverages or maybe some non-adult beverages. It's going to be a good time, and you're all invited. So I think for this week, everybody that participates in a super chat, first of all, I'm going to shout out to each and every one of you. I'm going to answer your question. And then everybody that participates in a super chat is going to be automatically entered for a full pack, a bundle of tungsten, which we'll talk about later because you know how I feel about tungsten. It's the biggest ripoff on the planet. And so I went out and researched all the product that exists today. And I made exactly what everybody else makes, but I'm going to sell it to you guys cheaper because I love you guys. So like I said, we got a great show for you today. It's usually at this point in the show that I'd introduce Max, my good buddy and co-host. But sadly today we learned about Max and I gave him one job. It was just one job. Scroll through the questions, make sure that, you pick out the good ones, and let's laugh a little bit. And what did Max do? No, Max went out and got himself the COVID. So if you're, Max, if you're out there, we hope you're feeling better. If you're in the bathroom, Max, we hope you're feeling better. We miss you, buddy, and the show won't be the same without you. But we're looking forward to you feeling a little bit better and being back on the show next week. So instead of the time I normally spend with Max to see how he's doing it at school and talking about his dating life, I thought we'd jump into something totally unscripted because I got a package in the mail today, and this could either go really well or this is going to go really poorly. So, Bass Rich, super chat with the tungsten party. Thank you. I don't know who you are, but thank you. Oh, my goodness. Thank you very much. All right, so I got this package today. I've never seen it before, not the finished product. This is the new series of baits that we're producing. And some of it is stuff that we produce, and some of it's coming from another brand. Oh my God, it looks so good. I'm so excited. All right, so for those of you at home wondering what I'm doing, I always said I was going to be different than everybody else, and I wasn't going to produce 10 brands of baits like everyone else. I said I was going to produce one. Why? Because producing baits is really hard. I've made some of the biggest blunders on the planet. I ordered baits only to find out that they were the mold that I supposedly bought was a Mega Bass knockoff, and of course I wouldn't ship those to you guys, so I put those to the side. But I started, I really wanted to focus on making baits because, the Patriot is an amazing bait. And so we spent a lot of time this year making baits. And I got to tell you, I think we're going to hit it out of the park. So This is so exciting. I don't even know where to begin. So, we got a new line of bait called the Seeker Series. So I put it to my team of pros, the guys that help me pick the baits each and every month for your region. And I had them. We put together this line of baits, and I had them name it in the Seeker Series because these bad boys literally address every stage of the water column. So we created a line of crankbaits. We have the Seeker 8, the Seeker 6, and the Seeker 12. I want to show them to you. I couldn't be happier at this point. So these will show up in a box at some point. I just want to show you guys some of these colors. They're amazing. Look at that. So this is dives 4 to 6 feet, 2.5 inches long, ½ ounce. I mean, I chose to go. Traditionally we go with the red hook on the front. These are number 4 Japanese katana hooks. I love the big eyeballs. Of course, synonymous with monster bass. You got to have that bloody bone color. I'm not going to go through them all, but there's 6 colors in every single one of them. I love them all, and I think you guys are going to love it too. This is the Seeker 8. Oh my God, these are so good. I'm so excited. Look at this one. So this is a Seeker 8. So these ones are, again, this dives 4 to 8, 2.5 inch, ½ ounce. Bone colored one. God, I love these. I'm so excited. Check out this craw one that I made. I love this craw. What you can't see on here is the all the flakes on top. So I put gold flakes on top. God, these are freaking amazing. I can't freaking believe it. I can't believe it. These are so good. Let me show you something what's cool about these. So this is the Seeker 6. I want you to see this. I don't know if you can see this or not, but look at that color pattern. And I want you to see the lip. Look at the lip on these. It's a little more pointed than a normal one. So these are the eyes that we're going to start standardizing on in terms of the entire Monster Bass line. This is our gill plate that we're going to standardize on. And again, number 4 red trebles. You know how I feel about red trebles. I absolutely love this. I'm so excited with the way that these turned out. This has been a year in the making, and I think you guys are going to love it. Oh my God, Dunbar Outdoors. Those baits look great. Thank you so much. If I had more of these to give to you, I would, but these are the only ones today. The rest are literally on their way to the warehouse, and I'm going to start putting these into the boxes next month. I'm going to give you basically everybody's going to get the Seeker 6, the Seeker 8, and then of course the one that not everybody's going to get. God, would you look at this one? I'm so excited. Look at that pattern. I can't. Anyway, here's one. This is the Seeker 12. This is my deep diver, and I'm only going to show you a couple patterns. Would you look at this one? I mean, come on. Can you see that or not? I can't tell. Anyway, these patterns are legit. And this is my new one of my favorites. So I made this one. This is the Oneida Perch. For everyone up in the Northeast. Super Chat Sports Freak 76. Thank you, Greg Whitaker. I see you. I'm so jacked. Okay, something else that we're gonna do. I have to tell everybody because I'm so excited. I don't know if you can see that. Monster stops. Now, why am I gonna include monster stops? Couple reasons. Tungsten. You know how I feel about tungsten. Tungsten is the biggest ripoff on the planet. So, tungsten, all the tungsten out there, I researched it all. It's all made by like half dozen different factories. And at the end of the day, it's all made the same exact way. 97% pure tungsten, no chip, oxidized, blah, 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 blah. So, I know you can't see it because it's really small and whatever. But let me see here if I can show this to you. Anyway, this is a 1 ounce no chip tungsten. And what I did was I went out and I produced just about every size and flipping weights. And then I'm going to do drop shot and everything else. Why? So what I wanted to do was give you guys the opportunity to buy tungsten at factory direct prices, which you'll notice is everything is bagged individually. So if you want 1 or you want 7, you can buy it. And here's the deal, right? That's the packaging. Why spend the money on the packaging when you're going to pull it out and put it in your tackle box? Everything's labeled, everything's no chip. This is going to give you the best prices on the planet. I'm not trying to make the money off of tungsten. I'm just trying to hook you guys up with the same stuff that everyone else is selling, but at better prices. I went to Tackle Warehouse. I priced out tungsten from 10 different suppliers. I broke it into individual prices, and I'm hooking you up with the best price. I literally discounted the lowest prices I can find by 20%. Now, you're going to need some of these for some of those, and I'm really excited about these. It's the Sabertooth series of hooks, okay? So these are Japanese-made katana, or sorry, not katana. These are Japanese-made Sabertooth series EWGs. This is a 3/0 hook, and I'm going to be putting these in a box with the peg stops and the weight, and I'm going to set you all up with everything you need for flipping. Why? Because I want to hook you guys up and show you how to catch more fish. So we're going to work with our team of pros. God, I'm so excited I can barely talk. Anyway, enough about that stuff because I just can't believe it. And Jared, you're going to have to photograph all of these things too. So you got like 50 baits to photograph. It's going to be great. I'm so excited. I really am. Like, look at this. This is like chartreuse blue. I call it the baby blues. Oh my God, it's so good. It's so good. Holy crap, Dunbar's Outdoors. Pumped for the tungsten. Been asking for a while. You delivered. Dunbar, thank you. Philip Schmidt, $1.99. Thank you. Scott for $1. Thank you. And Bad Bass Capster. Yeehaw.
Rick, you got Blue Bull BT at $1.99.
Oh my God.
And the Informative Fisherman at 99 cents because he always wanted to give you $1.
Amazing. Joshua Seegers. I priced 40 pieces of tungsten on Monster Bass and 40 on the another site. Monster Bass was $30 cheaper. Thank you, my friend, because that's what I'm trying to do. Listen, I'm not trying to make a ton of money on tungsten. I'm trying to hook you up because why? You're gonna come to my website and you'll pick up something else, and so I'll make a little, a couple nickels on something else that you buy. At the end of the day, I'm hooking you up with the tungsten that you need because we all need it, and no one needs to get ripped off like, prices. I should be like Crazy Eddie's. His prices are insane. Fishing with Tiny Bassin. I see a ton of people. This looks exciting. So I'm really excited about this show. Really excited. I'm really excited about these things. Oh my God. Well, we all know how it turned out. I said that this could go one way or the other. Either this is going to go out really well or this is going to be a disaster. And I got to tell you, I'm so excited. These are freaking amazing. God, I'm so excited. I'm really excited to bring these baits to you guys. Like, you work so hard to create something, and half the time it turns out like a disaster, and then you learn from that mistake and then create something that's amazing. So I'm really, really excited. So, yeah. So I think we should get on to business, don't you guys? I mean, enough about me. Once again, guys, I want to say thank you. I want to say hi to Gabe. Gabe, I know you had a rough night last night, and I just want to say thanks for listening and doing everything that we talked about. I'm going to hook you up with a box and make sure you're taken care of. I also want to give a big shout out. There's a handful of people that have reached out to me, and they're going through tough times in their lives, and they've shared their stories with me, and whether it's due to the economy or it's due to their health, you've taken the time to share your story with me, and I really appreciate it. And I really, truly hope that each and every one of you recovers and and turns everything around, because, you know, look, at the end of the day, life is tough, and I get it. And I just hope that each and every one of you ends up turning it all around. So thank you for your support, and many blessings to each of you. All right. So let's do it. So normally I'd turn to Max and I'd ask him all about it, but Max isn't here today because he's got the vid. And so my next guests, it's funny because I had never spoken to them before until like an Instagram live. And I was enamored. And what first caught me was the name of their channel, because it really speaks to something that I'm very passionate about, and that's working with kids. You know, many people don't know that back in the day, I actually taught first grade. My first job out of college was I was a first grade teacher in Boston, and I'm also a scoutmaster. So I do a lot of stuff with kids. And so when I saw their handle, I was totally intrigued. And so today I'm going to bring these guys on, and you're all going to learn a little bit more about what these guys do and who they are. So why don't we bring them on? You probably know them from their Instagram page, School of Fish IG. So let's bring on Patrick and Craig. How you guys doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for sitting through that first 15 minutes of me just spouting off around random stuff.
Those baits look awesome.
Yeah.
They look great.
Thank you. So guys, tell us about School of Fish. Tell us about you also have a charter business. Why don't you just fill us all in on what you guys are up to?
Absolutely. So, Rick, you and I have the education thing in common. So I'm a full-time teacher. I teach 5th grade in South Florida. Craig is a full-time guide. I'll let him talk about his job. But Craig and I have known each other for a long time. We grew up playing sports. Craig had always wanted to do a summer camp, and I kind of pushed him off the ledge, and I said, let's do it together. Let's collaborate. Let's create something that can, you know, not only this was done last year, and we really felt it was the right time. Between the technology push and kids kind of not being outdoors quite enough, we felt like fishing could be an outlet that we could use to reach kids. And so, being a teacher, I really wanted to push Craig and started forcing him to do this. And so I started taking on the curriculum side of it and creating the program. And Craig really, you know, has the fishing knowledge. He's on the water. How many?
Average right now about 320.
Whoa, 320. Yeah. Now, where are you based out of?
West Palm Beach, which some people say Palm Beach, West Palm, but
yeah.
We're West Palm Beach. It's the same thing. South Florida. You know, but I do saltwater and freshwater fishing, so I cover a plethora of species from snook, tarpon, you know, redfish, all the way down to peacock bass, clown knifefish, you know, largemouth. So I grew up in this area along with Pat, and just got into guiding because I wasn't great in school. There's some kids probably feel me, but I wasn't a college dude. And I've been working on boats forever, been around boats, and decided why not guide?
Yeah.
That was before it was cool. Like now it's many things. Yeah. I'm 19 years into this now. And but my goal is to teach people. That's why I do this. I have a passion for fishing. And just like Pat, I enjoy teaching kids, but also adults. There's a lot of adults that don't understand fishing, and most of it is dads, because as men, you know, we're afraid to ask, and that's just part of our nature. But you know, I always talk about, like, to adults, like, don't be afraid to ask questions, because there's a lot of things that you think are stupid to ask about, but that's not necessarily true, because I've seen a lot more than most people ever will in fishing, the aspect of it, and I'm willing to share that knowledge. And that's why we created this program. It's about teaching kids and also the parents, because the parents are involved too. We want everyone to be involved. That's the goal.
Yeah, we're starting to do more family-based events. We just had we had a couple of families that signed up for every event we did, and so we did like a thank you barbecue, and the families found out like why their kids were so passionate about fishing, and so it was so cool to see a mom and a dad catch their first fish, and then have it become more of a, you know, like a thing they can do together rather than a camp that they just send their kids to. So yeah, that was almost like a little bit of a blessing in disguise.
That's amazing. Yeah, it's funny. Instagram, it's like It's given everyone a soapbox that allows them to either become a life coach or a fishing guide. It seems like every like you turn around, it's like, wait a minute. So you got 50,000 Instagram followers. Now you're a fishing guide? Oh, I get it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, even when we were connecting with Jared, like, he was like, oh, we're going to sync you up and get you some traffic. And honestly, what we do is still local based. We're not really looking for, you know, 1 million followers. And in fact, I'm ADHD. I'm on the go. I have 1 million things going at all times. And so I wanted to do apparel and hats and all these things. And it was funny because, you know, listening to more and more people that are into business, I finally made the decision to say, you know what, like, we need to put all our eggs in one focus, right? We need to put our area in the focus of the program. So I started really hammering the curriculum side and took down the apparel completely because it just took away from our focus.
Sure. 100%. You know, I think you build the program and then you've wrapped the apparel around it, and then you'll see success. Right now, it's just a distraction that you don't need.
Exactly.
So take us through like the curriculum. So let's say I lived in the West Palm Beach area and I wanted to learn about fishing. You know, whether it's because I want to learn or because my kid wants to learn, and you know what, I'm not the best teacher, and so I need a little bit of help to get my kid out there fishing.
So basically what we've done is, you know, being a teacher, I understand that every lesson you have needs like a target, right? Like a learning target that you want the kids to be able to do by the time they're done. And so what we actually did was we created a digital platform where we hold all the lessons. The kids get a code to join our classroom. So not only do we use those to present to the kids, this is actually the garage where we do all our lessons. We use it to present the lessons to the kids, but they can also revisit everything, all the lessons that we connect to, whether it's a YouTube video that somebody else created or a YouTube video that we've created, to put together all those lessons. And then one thing that we did during the summer was we wanted to have more people in person, but obviously with COVID, that kind of shut that down a bit. But we had virtual presenters that we would connect with the kids, and it would be a Q&A session where the presenters would teach with the kids too. And we had an FWC officer come in. We actually had Hank Cherry, who's the reigning Bassmaster Classic champion. I randomly hit him up, and he was like, sure, man, I'm ready to connect to you. One thing we have found, and you are definitely testament to this also, is that the industry of fishing is just filled with really incredible people.
Totally.
You know, and for what we're trying to do, they're like you know, we caught your interest, which, you know, thank goodness for that. But what we're trying to do, everyone's so supportive, and it's cool.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was telling Rafi, who runs marketing for the company, I was sharing stories about like why I got into this industry, how I did, and the differences between this and like tech. Because in tech, nobody likes each other. It's like, you know, being on the Yankees versus the Dodgers. And here, you know, you go to a trade show, and at 3 o'clock, you know, the trade show, the convention center says no alcohol till 4 o'clock. Well, everybody's got a keg open at 3 o'clock. Somebody's got music and their dog, and they're going to invite every brand that's competing with them over for drinks, because you know, you don't go into this industry to like make $1 million. You go into this industry because it's a lifestyle, and you just like genuinely good people. And so when I left my previous employer, I thought about what was I going to do, and I had all these offers to go back to tech, and I was just like, God, I don't know that I can do it. This industry's so nice. Like, it's just the nicest, genuine human beings that you'll ever meet. You know, there's an occasional asshole, but you know, it's really good people.
Well, the biggest thing too is that what we try to portray to the kids is, for what I do for a living, you know, being a fishing guide, working on boats, there's different avenues to fishing in the industry itself. So like, I'm sure you go to ICAST, like I go to ICAST every year. There's so many avenues that these kids don't have to become a Bassmaster champion. They don't have to be a fishing guide. You know, you could sell boats, you could sell tackle. There's so many avenues, and that's what we want them to understand. We want them to have an understanding of there's so many. There's more to it than just fishing every day like I do, getting beat up and wearing myself out, and you don't get to see your family every day. I mean, I literally got off the water, came here, didn't even get to see my kid.
Yeah.
So
that's definitely what been our main focus is. We do get technical with the kids in terms of, you know, fishing techniques and how to fish and casting, you know, techniques and stuff like that. But really, the overall vibe really is, hey, open up your eyes to the opportunity that is in the industry. We do everything from making soft plastic baits, which we actually taught ourselves before we had to teach the kids because we had never done it. So we learned the process ourselves, connected with a couple amazing companies, and then we started showing the kids how to make baits. And so the next initiative we've done with that is we've created a thing called Pour It Forward, which is like a play on the word forward. So we're making bags with our little stickers on it, and there's a couple low-income communities around here where we know kids fish. We're half an hour south of the southern tip of Lake Okeechobee. There's a lot of areas right around one of the greatest fisheries where kids don't have the resources to fish. And so what we're trying to do is have the kids make, a bunch of just little soft plastics and just drop them off. I'm in contact with some of our teachers at our school that live, or have connections into places. We're fortunate enough to live in a more well-to-do area, but we want to, spread it out to the community.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that, pouring soft plastics. We featured this month soft plastics from 2 kids, like under 18, and they produce thousands of packs of baits for us. So we featured a company called Candy Baits and HR. Do I have it here? Maybe I do. No, I don't have it with me, but like Candy Baits, I mean, his baits were, he made these little Ned logs, they're little Ned sticks, and they came perfectly packaged in the bag, like all in a row. They weren't just like tossed in. And this is like a young kid who genuinely loves making baits. He signed a little contract with us. We made his baits, and they're quality plastic baits. I mean, I think that like fishing has so many good things to offer, whether it's just getting outdoors and putting down the electronics, or the ability to get creative and create your own baits and do things like that. That like it's such an opportunity for kids and families alike.
Yeah, I think you just touched on something that is on our mind all the time. Technology is like an elephant in the room right now that nobody really wants to talk about. Like a lot of parents, and not for any fault than the creation itself of the phone and the iPad and everything. But it's becoming something that is taking over, right? And we want to kind of bring back that thing that made our childhood what it was, when we were outside and we were fishing. So I think, a lot of people say more, less Xboxes, more tackle boxes, and that's what
totally right.
Trying to push, yeah.
Well, I want to take a moment. So for everybody watching, I see lots of comments, first of all, about Max and where's Max, and did we fire him? Did we feed him to the dogs? Max has COVID. Okay, so if you want to make
flu, Rick, we call it the Kung Flu.
Yeah, I understand. But Max isn't up to par. So if you want to make him happy, go subscribe to his YouTube channel. That would make him happy. But he'll be back next week, unless he something happens to him. I want to acknowledge Bass Rich I don't know if this guy's independently wealthy or what he does, but he's constantly always doing shout outs and super chats. So thank you. Clearly the first cocktail's on me when you show up at our end of year summer. And then finally, I want to do a shout out to my customer service team. Customer service to me is the most important thing. And we're going to make mistakes. We're going to screw up. FedEx is going to mess up. But we're always going to make it right. So when you go to something on YouTube and you see a comment about my boxes late, do me a favor. You all know that our customer service team is great. You all know that we're going to make it right. So just do me a favor and just let them know that all they got to do is contact support, and we're going to take good care of it. I want to give a quick shout out to Bethany Rudd. That's right. The bearded bad man himself, his wife is on our customer service team, and she's on the live chat today. I'm not saying that so you can flood her with questions. I'm just letting you know. I want to give her a shout out for the help she's providing today. So thank you very much, Bethany. And for the rest of you watching, make sure you start to throw out some comments. Thank you, Frank's Fishing, for those HR baits are looking great. Yes, the HR baits are great. And start throwing out some questions for these guys, because in just a couple seconds, we're going to ask these guys some questions, and we'll go from there. So, all right. So back to the topics at hand. So if I were to come down to West Palm Beach and I wanted to go fishing, do you have, like I fished in a number of places in Florida. West Palm is, I think I did a TV show down there a few years ago, and we did, I think we went for peacock, and it was right before ICAST. I flew into Fort Lauderdale. We did peacock, and then we went over to ICAST. Then after ICAST, we went over to on the West Coast as Sanibel? No.
Annabelle? Yeah.
Yeah, for Goliath grouper and so. So do you have on the, what I really enjoyed the flats. Like it was like fishing in an aquarium, right? The flats are amazing. Do you know Captain Will Burback? Okay, I love Will. He's amazing. And like I had never fished the flats before, and for me that was like the greatest experience ever. Forget the Goliath group. I mean, that was great, but the fishing in an aquarium and watching all these, watching the whole, like, this is the beginning of the ocean, and you're fishing this amazing environment, and you're watching it, like, it was crazy. So do they have that on the East Coast as well?
Yes, we do. So actually the Indian River, there's nothing else like the Indian River. It stretches from, basically, it starts at Hope Sound, which is the very northern tip of Martin County, and goes all the way up to Mosquito Lagoon, which is well known for redfish. It's that tributary. There's nothing else like it in the world. It holds the biggest trout. The largest trout ever, I think, was like 13 and a half pounds, and it was caught in Fort Pierce, Florida. And then we have redfish, we have tarpon. In my area, which is the Lake Worth Lagoon, the best day we ever did was 23 different species of fish.
Wow.
So that just shows you're there. And we have more than that, but I'm saying that's just catching in a half-day charter, 23 different species. So that's why we push, getting these kids to understand not just, freshwater and saltwater, because the biggest question that I get all the time is, I don't want to go offshore, I get seasick.
Yeah.
We stay strictly inside. It's the intercoastal. We fish a lot of back bays and rivers and canals. So for the most part, like today was blowing about southeast 15, 20. So it was a little bumpy in the open bays. But that, in my boat, you don't feel it. I run a 24-foot bay boat. We rip right over the top of that.
Yeah. That's awesome.
There's a lot of different stuff. So, as far as the flats fishing, like today we were sight fishing snook. There's times where you can literally sight fish tarpon, snook, big jack crevalles, redfish. But all certain zones, and it's all timing, and it's certain times a year. Now in the summertime, if you want to sight fish snook and tarpon, it's gin clear because it's calm. The water's always clear, so you can see snook that go from 5 up to about 35 pounds. That's what I'm a big jig guy.
Yeah. What about permit?
I caught permit 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I got on the school of permit actually. So
love me some permit.
We have them. We have some beach renourishment going on right now, so that's kind of throwing a curveball. But once everything kind of settles back down, the permit do come in. And I got a buddy of mine. He was one of our guests during the summer, Captain Wes, and he's like the best permit fishing guide in Palm Beach County by far.
Wes, yeah.
Right on. Well, we're gonna have to get down there maybe we plan something before ICAST.
Yeah.
And we get all the influencers together and we create a ton of content. We have a good time and we catch some fish. That's pretty dope.
Yeah. Well, I can come outside with the kids. That'd be awesome.
Nice. So when's the next event for you guys?
So every Wednesday we do an after-school club session from 4:30 to 6. So that's every Wednesday. We just got done with a winter break camp. That was a 3-day camp. We did a mixture of saltwater, inshore stuff, and freshwater. Our next event is the March 15th and 16th, which is our spring break event. So me being a teacher, we basically work with the Palm Beach County school system schedule to see when the kids are off and provide camps then. Our major camp is our summer camp. Unfortunately, the summer schedule is going to be very different due to COVID. Yeah. So the opportunity, we usually run 3 weeks. We're probably only going to be able to do maybe 1 week, maybe 2 if we can stretch it. So yeah.
Let's take a couple questions. Do you guys use hookup lures, inshore jigs?
Greg, no. So I'm really tight with DOA. I kind of work for them as far as like social media side. So I'm strictly all DOA all the way across the board. And this is one thing I preach to the kids itself. It's loyalty. I've been with DOA since I started.
Sure.
And loyalty in this industry gets you a long way. There's a lot of guys that are product, you know, I don't want to say the word, but they're all about themselves. And that's one thing that I want kids to understand. Like, if you like a certain bait, or if you like a certain rod and reel, if you like a certain line, stick with it, man. Like when I do seminars and I say, you know, what's your confidence bait? And they're like, they look at me like, what do you mean? It's like, well, you have a confidence bait or a confidence color? Like, what's a certain color that works for you all the time? That's what I want people to stick with. You don't have to go and buy all these different lures. When you walk into Bass Pro or Cabela's, whatever, and you see all these different colors, that's because it's selling you everything, man.
Totally.
5 colors in my box. That's it. And they're all kick butt lures. I'll take them from freshwater to saltwater. I'll take them offshore. I catch everything with them. So it's all about confidence. And, get back to lures, though, it's just loyalty. That's why I'm with them. They take care of me. I take care of them. And it's just something I've been with. I don't need to leave. It's something that I'm proud of.
Nice. What are the best baits for the Melbourne, Florida area?
Well, so, not to go company-wise, but if you were to say, okay, Melbourne, which is north of us by 65 miles, that's Sebastian area, which is a great fishery. I fish up there quite a bit. If I was to start off there and not being there, I would take a 4-inch jerkbait with at least a 16th or an 1/8 ounce jig head. I'm kind of picky about my colored jig heads. I stick with bare metal or black. That's just my preference. But as far as I would do a jerkbait weedless, with a little slide weight, 11/32, something like that, and go with 30-pound leader, fluoro, mono. That's what I would throw. And working in flats, working mangroves, look for potholes. When you fish the flats, you see a lot of dark grass. You see this bright white little hole. You want to pitch past that and work it to the hole, drop it, and then usually that's where the fish are.
Nice. We got a shout out from Mick Boy's Hobby TV. They just want to say hi to you guys.
Linking us up with Fred, actually. You mentioned for him to reach out to us.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Yeah. Let's see what other guys. Throw in your questions right now. I just saw that Max is on here, and once again, Max is all about me. Max is sick, and he's just wanting to know that, like, I should fly him down if we're going to go and fish with these guys. Max, I don't know. I mean, you couldn't even show up for work today, so the last thing I want to do is invest more money in you. I bought you a camera, and you haven't even filmed me a video, for Christ's sakes. So I think you need to focus on the things that are important, and that's whatever. Max, just get well soon, buddy. All right. Any other questions? I want to. What's the guy's name that keeps donating money? Bass. No, Bass Rich. Bass Rich. I don't know who you are. I'm gonna send you a 4-pack of the Alex Rudd silent square bills because you keep donating money, and I just want to say thank you for your super chat. And again, for everybody that watches. Everyone that puts money in for a super chat, not only are you entered in for a chance to win I'm going to give away something at the end of the show, but your money's going towards a big party at the end of the year that you're all invited in. And anyone that knows me knows I like to have a good party. So looking forward to seeing y'all at that. Who else? Dunbar.
Outdoors is in for $35 already.
So that's $17.50 for me. So I'm just kidding. I got to tell you, the super chat thing.
It's getting out of control. It's awesome.
No, it's not out of control. Google takes half the money.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know the money either. So last week I started giving away everything. I was like, oh my God, somebody made like $100 donation. And I was like, let's give them this. Somebody made a $25. I gave away the farm, and I probably lost money on what I was giving away because I had no idea. And then Alex Rudd is like, you do know that they take half your money. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, they gave it to me. And he goes, yeah, no, Google takes half your money. I'm like, ugh. So my party got that much smaller.
It's totally one of those ideas that if I thought of it, I'd be like, no one would ever spend money on that. And then here we are.
Right. Anyway, are there any? Can you scroll up for me? Or down to the bottom, like where the latest ones? No, all the way down. Yeah. Oh, Dunbar
Again?
changed my last name last week. David Dunbar changed the name
Somebody
last
asked
week to
about
Dun.
how our channel started. We really don't use our YouTube channel that often. What we do is we always create at the end of our events. We create a video, like a recap of the event.
Yeah.
And then we usually have the parents come into the garage and we share the recap video, and then we just post those on our YouTube page in case they want them. There's a couple tutorial videos that we've done that we post up there too, but we're not big YouTubers. We're really just kind of trying to keep this grassroots little home project, and my goal is to maybe create a package. If other guides want to get into it, create a package for a guide, to hand off the program so that it can kind of spread, because we can only be in so many places at one time. And actually, that was one of the questions we had for you, being a business person, now knowing a little bit about our program, like what would you say, some focus areas of ours should be?
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that, because one of my next questions was going to be, given COVID and given things like, I don't know if you've ever seen Masterclass or any of these other online places, like if I wanted to take an entire group full of kids and teach them how to fish online, is that even possible? Like, do you do anything that keeps this? I know that every state and every person has a different opinion on COVID or the flu and whatnot, but like, what are you guys doing to during these times to make this more approachable and accessible?
So for us, we only accept a certain number of kids, and we'll do that always, because we want it to be quality. We want to be able to focus with 2 or 3 kids on the boat at a time.
Sure.
In the summertime, we brought on another captain, Captain Danny Barra, who is also an amazing guide here locally. But we really, we don't want to just flood the camp with a bunch of kids to make, extra money. It takes away from the program. So one thing we do is we keep the kids spread out on the boat, which we would do because they're just learning how to cast and learning about their surroundings anyways. We don't make the kids wear a mask because we're outside. It's 1 billion degrees in South Florida. When we're in the garage, they're wearing masks.
But what about, so you mentioned the boat, but why do we got to be on the boat? Like, couldn't we do this with 50 kids on the bank and really like open this up so that more kids that want to fish have that opportunity? And then if they want to ultimately step up to a program that gets them on the boat, they could?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And man, we've done stuff. Well, I've done stuff in the past for a local community, Lake Clark Shores. So they actually contacted me, and basically what I do, because I do a lot of seminars and teaching fishing and all that, and they actually had a kids camp themselves. And basically what I was there for is to just teach the kids the basics, whether it's knot tying, how to hold a rod and reel, a spinning reel, because some people, they hold it and they flip it upside down and they're looking at it like it's an alien. But that's fine. We're there to teach. But having that many kids, when I was there, it was hard on me just because I can't be with every kid, because if I'm going to try to teach someone, I'm putting 110% into it. Sure. It takes away from the other kids, but you also find too where there's some kids, like we have a few kids in our camp that are really they got the skills. So not saying that I don't teach him.
Yeah.
I'm hard on him in a way because I know that he's got the potential,
capable,
but I can back off on that certain kid and go to the kid that really needs the focus. And that's what we want to do. We want everyone on a level playing field in a way, so to say, because we want them to, it's like when we played sports. If one kid was better than me in hockey, guess what? I'm gunning for him. Like, I want to be
better because you play with better people, and I think fishing is no different.
Yeah, for sure.
Like Craig is obviously, like, any technical questions you were going to throw, like, I was always going to resort to Craig because I learned so much from him, and he learns from the people he guides with. And, just like a classroom, if you don't go out on the water and learn something every single day, then what was the point?
Yeah, look, we all have mentors. This industry, like he talked about, this industry is full of awesome people. I'm 40 years old. So I started this when I was 22. So my mentors are guys that, fished up in Stewart, Ed Zyak, Mike Holliday, Jeff Page. These are guys that they're family guys. They're family orientated, but they know I'm not trying to be a hero.
Right.
Like if you go on my Instagram account, you're going to see completely not what you think you're going to see. It's all photography. It's stuff that I want people to understand and see what we have, and not just some random dude holding a fish up. That doesn't do anything for me, okay? If you want to catch one big snook, go for it. I'm all about numbers and I'm all about teaching, right? So those guys taught me the right way, and they taught me to be very humble because it can be taken away very fast. And Mother Nature doesn't care who you are. The fishing was extremely tough last week. And I'm one of them guys where I lost 3 trips because I'm so honest. I said, look, we're fishing slow. If it was me, I'd stay home. And that's
Sure.
what we did. So now this week it's back on. It's fire right now. Water temps are back at 76 and fish are chewing. So
nice.
I think the other thing that motivated us was some of the environmental things that were going on in our state with the flow of the water and the depletion of the Everglades. And that's a lesson that I not only teach in my classroom, but we try to bring into the kids and ask them, okay, well, what can you do? And what can we do? And how can you spread what we do?
Nice. All right. We got a couple questions here. So which one of you two has the bigger PB and which one of you is the better fisherman?
Better fisherman all day long, and he's on the water 320 days a year. I'm in a classroom for 185, and then I have a few other business things that I do on the side. I've got 2 kids. This guy's a pro.
Okay. What's the cost of the program? Say I want to come down to Florida with a family over Easter break. What would it cost for myself and one or both of my kids?
So it all varies on, how long of a day if it's a specialized program. So it all varies a lot. So, but to give you just a general example, our March 15th, 16th camp is a 2-day camp. It runs from 8 in the morning till 1 in the afternoon. We provide snacks, lunch. They're getting a bunch of goodies and stuff. It's $250 for both days.
That's it?
Per kid. Yep, that's it.
All right, David Ehlers, I know what you're doing over Easter break because that's pretty darn affordable. So I think if you're looking for an opportunity to spend some time with your family and learn, catch some fish and make some memories, there you go, bro.
Rick, we got time for some shout outs?
Yeah, shout outs.
All right, Dunbar Outdoors is in for another 10. Deep Fishing
5.
is in for 5.
Tell me the name and I'll tell you how much.
Our good friend Jameson Hurley.
Jameson Hurley. So Jameson Hurley, I don't know where your boxes are. I donated 20 boxes. So Jameson Hurley runs a nonprofit that helps Vietnam veterans or veterans in general. And I don't know. Once again, leave it to my good friends at FedEx, UPS, USPS. I shipped him 20 boxes, and he sent me the video because he uses a Ring, one of those Ring doorbells, and sure enough, the video shows him dropping off 1 box. So I don't know where the 20 boxes are, bro. Like, what can I do? Tom gave $50 last week. Yeah, well, Tom, so am I, bro. Like, I didn't know that Google took half your money. Listen, next time you can PayPal me, and we'll call it even. Yeah, super chat twice as much. Anyways, for everybody out there that's watching, again, the super chat thing, everybody's going to get entered into a giveaway at the end of the show. We're going to give away some stuff. And what else am I missing? All right, great. Okay, what other questions? I want to be respectful of their time. There's 10 minutes left in the show. I can see that there's some mad love for Alex Rudd because, he does have a fancy beard. Although, yeah, whatever. He's like a ZZ Top wannabe.
I think we're looking for dating advice for Max each episode, right?
Yeah, actually, Max is here. That's true. We don't need Max to be here. So, Max. Yeah. So, Max, I know you got COVID, but I also, as we discussed last week, every episode, I think it's really important that now that you're up to the age where, things are more important than Legos and race cars and stuff like that. We're going to ask every guest for relationship advice to give you the step up that none of us had when we were growing up. So, guys, if you had to give relationship advice to Max, whatever it is, what would it be?
Well, I would say teach her to fish so that he doesn't have to come up with excuses or have to sneak out of the house or have to fight to go fishing. Teach her how to fish first. And if he's got a girlfriend right now, stay away from her for 2 weeks.
All right, Craig, what do you got? You got something for him, right?
My wife can fish, so
She can.
And now with this whole era of all these girls and women fishing, it can't be too hard to find. I mean, growing up the way we actually had to go out and meet girls. Now it's just on your phone, but just agree. Just always agree with them, because it just kind of makes them mad, and I don't argue. So my wife just kind of like gets mad and just walks away. So just always say yes. Like, just say yes.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that. So last night, I sometimes forget that my girlfriend just wants me to hold space. She's not looking for reflection. And last night, boys, I gave her reflection.
Oh, no. And you paid for that shit.
And this morning, I apologized because I was like, you know what, baby, I'm sorry. Last night, you just wanted to share. You didn't want my reflection, and I gave you reflection. Even though I know, listen, men, you all know it. We're logical thinkers because we think. Women, it all comes from here.
Yeah. When you listen, they want you to talk. When they talk, they want you to.
Actually, that's the other thing. Make sure you listen, or at least act like you're listening. I can do. My wife thinks I can't multitask. Watch this. I can multitask, listen, but honestly, I didn't hear anything. But
I'm checking to make sure my wife's not on this live.
Yeah. James Werner, $5 super chat, my friend. You're entered into the giveaway. Look. Oh, Frank. All right, so let's use the power of the universe and the collective consciousness to send some positive energy over to Frank's fishing and his father. His grandfather's got COVID. It's not looking great, and Frank, truly sorry. I know how that goes. I lost my aunt to COVID, and it's not fun. I mean, losing anybody's not fun, but right now with COVID, everything's highlighted, and so I'm really sorry, and we're hoping that your grandfather gets a full recovery. Butler's Fishing gave $5 to Max to feel better. Max, you're not getting any of that money. I'm getting all $2.50. Jackson Hine, thank you. Let's see what other questions we got for the boys. I think that's. Do we have any more questions? Guys, we need to have questions for Patrick and Craig before we let them go and have dinner. It's getting late on their end. It's almost 8 o'clock at night. Don't see any other questions. Am I missing anything?
Do you have a warehouse location yet? Are you coming east and south? Are you going to be near us?
Okay, so let's talk about that super good question about the warehouse. I need a new warehouse.
There's good space by us, South Florida.
I want to put it in a location where ultimately I'm willing to put a home. I want to put it in a location that I've got access to employees. I really don't want to put it in the direct path of every hurricane on the planet. True story. So at Lucky Tackle Box, my warehouse was in Tampa, and there was that. I can't remember what hurricane it was, but it was about to rip.
Hit it twice.
Which one?
They came back and hit the Tampa area twice, I think.
Yeah. I literally took the entire warehouse, true story, and I had 18-wheelers show up and empty the warehouse and ship it all to Buffalo, New York, because I wasn't going to take a chance, because they were like, yeah, we have insurance. I'm like, that's great that you have insurance, but that's going to take me 6 months to a year, and by then I'll be out of business because my customers. I shipped everything to their sister warehouse in Buffalo, New York, and started shipping boxes out of Buffalo for 2 months, and then brought it back down to Tampa. So I'm not willing to do that. My warehouse today is great, but I just know that at some point the scalability and my ability to control everything and grow the business, I want to have complete control. I'm looking at areas in Alabama, but I don't know that I want to live in Alabama. I'm looking at areas in Georgia. I got nothing to say about Georgia. I'm looking at areas in South Carolina and North Carolina. I like those areas. It really comes down to where do I want to spend. Oh my God!
Yeah, I just saw like a $50
JC Drop Shot. I'm having my best month ever in sales. I want this to go towards whatever charity you think needs, and maybe she's guys.
These guys, or maybe it's Max.
JC Drop Shot.
Yeah. Don't forget Douglas Hansen's in for 5.
Yes. Thank you so much. I mean, JC Drop Shot, $49. I mean, that alone probably gets him back on the show. Actually, you know what, JC? Keep the money and just film another video. JC Drop Shot, his advice, right? When I asked him what his plans for 2021 were, he just wanted to be a better husband.
Alex Webb can't picture you in Alabama, so here we come.
What are you talking about? You can't picture me in Alabama?
Hey, they get hurricanes too.
It's true. I think he thinks I'm a liberal from California, so I think that's what he's trying to do. I know what you're talking about, my friend. I know what you're talking about. Anyway, Bad Bass Gabster, $1.99. Thank you, my friend. David Ehlers, I would love to go ice fishing. Here's the thing. I think ice fishing is like, it's kind of like curling. So little be knows to most people, I lived in Vancouver, British Columbia for about 9 years. And the best team building event I ever did was go curling. Actually, the second best. The first was I took my team to Monday Night Raw. It was the best ever. We had like a lot of drinks, and we're sitting second row, ringside, Monday Night Raw being filmed live. It was amazing. But the second best company-wide event I went on was curling. It was so good because like you put your drinks right on the ice and they just stay cold, and it was so good. And so I think of ice fishing and I'm like, I mean, I don't know. Part of me thinks you just go to Hooters and you eat a bunch of wings and then you say, hey, you want to go fishing? Let's go. And you take them ice fishing. Now,
so Rick, funny you mentioned that because the next thing that we talked about was creating a team building program with what we do for small businesses. We thought that was a cool avenue. Yeah,
I think that would be amazing. I think any event that you can get the office out doing something that's totally out of their comfort zone.
Yeah, we've got some really cool venues. We're actually going to test it out with. I've got a good friend. Have you ever heard of the Breakers? Have you ever been down here? You know the Breakers?
Yeah.
Breakers Palm Beach. So I have a buddy that runs Breakers West, which is not the big fancy one, but it's still a very nice. And he's got a small team of people that we're going to test run it with.
Love it.
Would be killer. I'm all about. I actually worked at a summer camp up in the Adirondacks. Did a lot of team building events there, so I'm trying to think about that curriculum and moving.
The Adirondacks. What were you doing up in the Adirondacks? It's like my neck of the woods.
I was helping run a sleepaway camp up in the Adirondacks, up in a little town called Warrensburg.
I grew up in Syracuse. I know exactly what you're talking about.
10 years. Yeah, I love it. Love that area.
Nice. Yeah. So, all right, guys. Well, listen, we're coming up on the end of the show. It's 8 o'clock your time. I want to say thank you so much for taking the time to be on my little show. It really means a lot. And is there you guys want to plug anything? You want to say, give anything in terms of parting shots, everybody?
I mean, I definitely want to shout out Craig, who is a major part of our program, and he brings a lot of his sponsors on to help out with our kids. Shout out to we love using your products. So you see some of the boxes that we get here. We take those, and that's like our little incentive program. Stuff we get from companies in the boxes that we buy from you. I think come in really handy, and the kids love seeing when we get a box, and it goes into our little goodie bag. So
love it.
We love what you do, man. And the one thing I purchased, I want to give a shout out to MONSTERBASS, and I want to also say, like, you guys don't pay us. We pay for our boxes just like everybody else. But I really respect how you connect to your customers and that you are also all for the kids. Having Max on giving him that camera. Everybody you've ever spoken to, you give them the same level of respect, and I really, really respect that. So I really appreciated you having us on, because we don't, we're not a 20,000 follower, 1,000 follower group. We're just a little company doing some stuff in our little local town. So I think it's pretty cool that you took the time to grab us as well.
Yeah, no, it's honestly, it's my honor, my privilege, and thank you for what you guys do, because I think it's so important. And anytime you can get a kid out in the water and just like connecting with nature and doing something totally different, it's a job well done. So kudos to you guys, and thanks so much for being on the show. I really appreciate it. And if there's any way that I can help you guys in achieving the goals that you guys have, please let me know. I'm happy to help out in any way.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Cheers. Thanks a lot for being on the show. I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks a lot.
All right. Take care.
All right. See you, Rick.
All right. Man, I got to tell you, that was one hell of a show. That was a good show. I'm not gonna lie. I'm still jacked about these. I really am. So for those of you that are tuning in late, I opened a box of my newest baits, and these are brand new molds. These are brand new molds that are going to be the molds, the cornerstone of the MONSTERBASS brand, and I'm so proud of them. This was a lot of work, and I'll let you guys look at one of them. I don't know if you guys can see that, but look at that frickin' pattern. Oh my God, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. I mean, look at these patterns. Like, they're so good. And what's dope about these, so this is the new Seeker series. I got a 4, a 6, and a 4, a 6, an 8, and a 12. Look at that thing. Oh my God. And so what's cool about this, look at the lip. So the lips are designed a little bit differently than a normal crankbait. And what we found that we got a tighter wobble. We got, the sound on these, let me see if I can do this without cutting my hands. Oh, it's so good. It's so, there's both a thud and a rattle all in one. And I'm kind of getting off on this. This is really like, I know, but look at the color. Look at the color on these things. So here's the deal. There's companies out there that make really great baits. And there's companies out there that make really great baits and have really great paint jobs. And all I wanted to do was make great baits and have better paint jobs. And so I spent more money to make better paint. You guys know a company I'm talking about. They have amazing paint schemes. I wanted to make better. And so there's one of them. And that's a dope pattern. Let me find another one. I mean, I don't even know what to say. I'm so freaking jacked. I mean, look at this one. Like, this is like a chartreuse blue. I mean, I love this. I love this. I love it. Even the hooks. The Saber-Tooth series of hooks. The Tungsten. The weight stops.
Let Tiny Bassin know you got his $2.
Tiny Bassin. Thanks for your $2, bro. I really appreciate it. And need a yellow perch pattern. Well, let me tell you something there, Snapper. First of all, look at that one. Isn't that one dope? Look at that one. Isn't that sick? I don't know. I'm really proud of these. I really, really am proud of these. And for JC Drop Shot, when I find it, there it is. My Oneida perch.
Rick, you're getting a request from informative fisherman who wants to know more about the Tungsten.
Oh, well, why don't we just get informative fishermen on here right now? How do we do that? All right, hold on. let's do this right now.
Message me instead.
No.
Message fixing.
No. Hold on. We're going to call Nick the Informative Fisherman.
What up?
What's going on?
Oh, just sitting here watching you on live, man.
Well, I know it's the highlight of your evening, and I'm happy to be a part of the family fun time. So you want to know about our tungsten, do you?
Yeah, I missed that part. I got caught up in another call.
So you and I both know that tungsten's made at 4 or 5 different factories, and it's all exactly the same damn stuff. So I'm bringing you factory direct pricing for no chip tungsten, and just like everybody else. Here, let me put it out there. Let me see if I can do that. Just like everybody else, it's labeled. It's got the weight. Let me see if I can put it up there. Anyway, there's a 1 ounce tungsten, no chip. And basically what I did is I went to Tackle Warehouse and I said, what's the lowest price on a per piece unit? And I reduced it by 25%. And someone was on the show today and they said that they priced it all out and we saved them like $30. So I'm gonna use tungsten as a way to take care of everybody in the industry because we realize that tungsten's important, but we don't need to get ripped off for the price we're paying for the stuff. So
What are we? I gotta know. So what are we selling a 1 ounce tungsten punch weight for?
what are we selling? I think under $3.
For a 1 ounce?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so for those of you listening, if you can hear me, I don't even know because I can't see the video with Rick. That's insanity.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I'd have to look. I think the lowest price I found anywhere was like $4.
Yeah, I don't know. That's even pushing it.
I don't know. All I know is I went through the effort of scanning 10 different brands. I broke it down to per piece prices, and then I made my prices at least 20% cheaper than everybody else.
That's incredible. Well, for those of you listening that don't know, I've repaved the bottom of the Delta with tungsten, so this is going to be pretty nice.
So you can't see me online right now?
No, it's so delayed for our phone call. I see you talking about different stuff.
All right. Well, here's what I think we need to do.
I can see you in that.
I think I'm gonna have Rafi call you, and we're gonna reschedule now that we're up and running and a little more professional than we were the first time around. Let's get you on the show and spend a full hour with you next week. I think Sobe's next week, so we'll talk with you. We'll call you tomorrow, and we'll figure out next week or the week after.
Yeah, let me know, man. Anything anybody wants to know, figure out the most detailed questions you can possibly get, and I'll help you guys out.
I love it.
All right, brethren.
All right, man.
Take care.
I'll talk with you later. Bye. Whew. All right, guys. That was a lot of fun. Really glad that we got to. Sorry, I'm back. That was a lot of fun. Really glad that we got to spend the last hour and 10 minutes with you guys. I really appreciate you guys spending Thursday afternoons or Thursday evenings with you. Questions about these new crankbaits. This is the only ones that exist. So they're coming across the water right now. I'm going to guess the April box because March is the Bassmaster Classic box. So maybe we'll start putting these bad boys in the April box. I promise I'll hook you guys up. But as you know, if you're one of my pro staff, I'm going to give you guys first access at these things. And then, hey, sneak peek at something. I've got this thing called a Monster Bass VIP list. Actually, it's my VIP list. So if you go to the footer of my website, you're going to see a thing, and I think it's called... what's it called? Get on the VIP list? Rick's Monster. Become a VIP. Go to the link in the footer of my website and fill out that form. Everybody on the VIP list is going to get first crack at these at a discount, the same way that we hooked you guys up with Alex Rudd stuff. So make sure you guys sign up. Make sure you guys become a VIP, because that's where you're going to get unpublished deals every week. Once a week, whatever I feel like giving away. I don't know. Because I want to hook you guys up. Because I'm grateful for each and every one of you. So, what else we got? The Mad Max Popper. It's coming. The Mad Max Popper.
You got to figure out our giveaway also, don't forget.
Yeah. The Mad Max Popper is coming. What do we want to do? What do you want to give away? Should we give away a full pack of tungsten? Should we give away
I think that I might be wrong here.
Okay.
I think that we need to give away two things. We need to give one away for like the most obnoxious super chat, which is $45 to Dunbar Outdoors. And then we've got to give everyone else a chance.
All right, so if you guys want to get your last shot in, we're going to do a giveaway. Every dollar counts. So if you want to do a $1 super chat, you want to do a $5 super chat, every dollar counts as an extra vote. We are going to let's do should we give away? Should we give away an Alex Rudd 4-pack? Should we give away some tungsten? What do you guys think? Let's do some crankbaits. Marines are the best product testers, and I say thank you for your service. From my good friend Jameson. And, you know, one of these days, you know what would be really interesting to do is to have Dante on as my guest.
You already had one accidentally.
Accidentally. So, all right, guys. So let's give away a 4-pack of... why don't we do this? Who gave $49?
No, $45 was Dunbar Outdoors. He hits the... we're not counting JC Drop Shot, so...
Did Dunbar get, like, have we sent him anything before?
Yeah, we have.
Did we send him the Alex Red stuff?
I don't know.
All right. I'm leaning toward Hold'em Hook TV just gave a $4.99. I'm kind of leaning towards Bass Rich. That guy has been like giving away a ton of stuff. So
Bass Rich has been giving away stuff since we discovered Super Chat.
All right, let's give it away to Dunbar. I'm thinking about Dunbar. Dunbar has done a great job. So Dunbar, we're gonna hook you up with let's give Dunbar a 4-pack of Alex Rudd baits.
Okay, have Dunbar email me, but I think he's emailed in the past. I think we flipped him
Oh, maybe we give him something different. It's a Rudd for you, a Rudd for you. It's like Oprah. That's so funny. All right, guys, listen, I want to say thanks for tuning in. It's been amazing. Looking forward to next week. My guest next week is either going to be Nick the Informative Fisherman or Sam Sobey. We'll see. All right. Until next week. Peace out. Is that it? Show's over?
Yes, now.
All right.